I'm Mona Santana. This is my daily gratitude list where I list and talk about 5 things I'm grateful for that hopefully you can relate to as well. Number 1, I'm grateful for hot water. I'm grateful for having access to hot water pretty much anytime that I need it. It comes directly out of the tap now. It wasn't that long ago that people, in order to take a hot bath, would have to boil the water and then just pour it into the tub that way. And you can imagine that wasn't very convenient. So people didn't take baths very often. It's something that we don't think about very often because it's just commonplace to us to have hot water come out directly out of the tap. But it's probably something we should feel grateful for because I don't know about you, but I am very grateful for access to hot water anytime I want it. Number 2, I'm grateful for kangaroos. Think about it. A kangaroo is such a completely unique animal and they're so cute. And it's something that inhabits the world, the earth, in only one part of the world. They're so unique. You know, they have a little pouch for the little joeys and they're just adorable when you think about it. I mean, I don't know too much about kangaroos because I ain't never seen one in person because I ain't never been to Australia. One day I will though, and then I will see one. But I just love the fact that there are so many different animals in the world and they have such different ways of living and surviving and raising their babies, and there's just so many things that are cool about kangaroos. I think, you know, they hop and they're they're pretty unique. So I just wanted to stop and take a moment to think about kangaroos, and I actually am grateful for their existence. As I feel that way with lots of other animals, but I think kangaroos are pretty unique and pretty cool. Number 3, I am grateful for YouTube. Of course I'm grateful for YouTube. That's how I'm doing this show. But also I use YouTube all the time. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that I don't use YouTube. And I'm pretty sure most people can say that these days. It hasn't been around that long. I mean, really, if you think about it, it's only been a little bit over 20 years. And so, you know, our lives have greatly benefited from having access to all the information that you can get from YouTube. And it sounds like an ad for YouTube, but it isn't. I just feel like, you know, I should have gratitude for the way in which I'm able to connect with you guys. And, along with Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and Snapchat and Twitter and all those other lovely social media things. But I think YouTube is pretty great because it has just so much entertainment and information, and I feel very grateful for having YouTube in our lives these days. I mean, it used to be where if you wanted information, it wasn't that easy to access, and so I just think it's incredible how much our lives have changed and benefited from something as commonplace to us now as YouTube. Number 4, I'm grateful for farm workers. I feel like we should definitely stop and think about how much people who work in farms picking fruits and vegetables and things like that for us to be able to eat and have every day and buy in grocery stores. If it wasn't for them, all of those things would not be able to be harvested. And actually, it's a job that we don't really value very much because they don't get paid very much. But I think it's a job we should value a hell of a lot more because that is some really, really hard work. I don't know about you, but I am far too delicate to go out into a field and pick all kinds of fruits and vegetables and do that kind of hard labor. I think it's definitely something that I feel very, very grateful for. Whenever I eat fruits and vegetables, I try to think about things like that, just because it's the kind of thing that when you default to thinking about feeling grateful, then you default to a more optimistic way of looking at things in your life. And so, you know, try and think about where your food came from when you eat it. Number 5, I'm grateful for strawberries. Speaking of which, strawberries have to be picked, obviously, in a field in order for you to eat them. Unless, of course, you have a garden and you have strawberries. But most people don't. They buy them at the grocery store. But I love strawberries. I always have. Ever since I was a little kid, they were my favorite. They're not really my favorite now, but when they're good, they're really, really good. I'll never forget one time I was in Paris years ago, and I was just walking through the streets, you know, just sort of admiring all the beauty that there is in Paris. And there was a farmer's market, and I remember I was like, oh my God, it smells like strawberries. But it was like this really intense smell of strawberries. And so I stopped and I looked, and there were these really little strawberries that I'd never actually seen before. I guess they're wild strawberries. But since then, I have never tasted strawberries that good in my entire life. That experience will resonate for the rest of my life because they were so sweet and so good. They were amazing. And I am very grateful for the fact that strawberries exist. They're really cute. And yeah, and I always appreciate that when you see things that are lovely. So I want to thank you for joining me today and for continuing to practice gratitude. If this is your first time joining me, then I would appreciate it if you could subscribe. If you have subscribed, then I want to thank you very much for doing so. Anyway, I hope you're having a lovely day. I'll see you next time. Bye!